Hi everyone! My name is Gabrielle from Penn State Campus Recreation Fitness and Wellness, and I'm here today to lead you through a 45-minute yoga class. So it'll be sort of a power vinyasa is how we're going to gear the class towards. So super excited you're here. You need a mat, of course, and if you have any yoga props at your house or wherever you are, feel free to use them as needed, such as a block or something like that. But just some things to go over before we get started. So want to make sure you have a nice clear space free from furniture. So make sure everything's out of the way. And again, all you need is your mat. You can keep a water nearby if you'd like that too. And yeah, so as we go through this vinyasa, this yoga class, you can modify any exercise as needed. If at any time you feel dizzy, shortness of breath, or in pain, feel free to stop. And also take any modifications at your own pace at your own time. So that's really important because we're not physically together, so just keeping that in mind. So yoga, again, is a mind-body class, so that means we're really gonna focus on pairing our breath to our movement. And yes, we'll get that heart rate up because we're gonna go through some vinyasas. It is a power vinyasa class, and then all that good stuff. We'll do a little core balance, and then we'll have our Shavasana as always. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. So we're gonna take our child's pose. So begin by bringing your toes together, knees to the edges of your mat, and just sinking the upper body forward, reaching the fingertips toward the front of the mat, just resting your forehead on the mat. So just staying here. And I invite you to shift your focus from outward to inward. Outward to inward. So again, things that have been going on outside today on your day schedule. Maybe you had different things going on for work or class, whatever that is. Leave that outside this time in your mat and just really begin to honing in on how you are feeling, how you are doing right here in this moment. So again, we're just in our child's pose. Can you reach your fingertips maybe an inch further to the front of the mat? And the next thing I want you to do is I offer you this time to start noticing your breath. So not changing anything, but just noticing. So feeling our inhales come into the body as our lungs expand. Feeling our exhales coming out of our body, deflating the lungs. Just find that rhythm within your own breath. Stay here for one more breath at your own pace. And then exhale, walk your hands over to the right corner of your mat, feeling that stretch from the shoulder blade all the way down the side body. And then go ahead, hands walk over to the opposite corner of your mat, feeling that stretch down the opposite side here. Then walk the hands back to center at your own pace. And I offer you this time to set an intention for your practice. So something that you hope to achieve throughout. So whether that's creating space, clearing your head, some time for you, whatever that is, breathe in your intention on your next inhale. And exhale, release. Again, inhale that intention, that focus. Exhale any outside distractions or worries. And then when you're ready, our hands are going to shift under shoulder height. We're going to come up into all fours in our table position. On our inhale, we shift the eye gaze toward the ceiling. Our belly goes low toward the mat. Cow. And then we exhale, so we bring our chin toward our chest, arching the back, cat. Again, inhale, eye gaze forward, pull this belly down, cow. Exhale, bring the navel toward the spine, cat. Just beginning to take these cat-cows at the sequence of your own breath pace. So we're going from one position to the next, moving to the flow of our breath. We're firmly pressing our fingertips into the mat to protect our wrists. Our knees are about hip distance apart. How, again, can you shift that outward focus to inward? You today and your body's needs. Take 2 more cat-cows at your own breath pace. Then we'll meet back at center with a nice flat back in our table. Again, just finishing those up. Pausing at table, nice flat back. And then go ahead, reach the hands forward a couple inches, curl the toes under, lift the hips up and back, coming into our first downward dog of the day. So just taking the chance to walk out your dog here if you'd like to rotate, driving each heel toward the mat as we bend at the knees. So in this downward dog, we're reaching our fingertips at the front of our mat, engaging as we bring that chest toward our thighs, driving the heels downward to the mat. And let's begin our Ujjayi breathing here. So it's that deep breath in and out through the nose. And it really creates this harmonizing sound in the back of your throat. It's like a soft little vibration of a noise, kind of like the ocean. So that's what we're all focusing on today, just getting into these poses, and then can we breathe in each pose that we see. That breath is that constant thing. It guides each movement in this practice, and it's with us no matter what we're doing. We can't even go seconds or minutes without it. Let's take one more breath here at your own pace. Get those sit bones nice and high toward the ceiling. And then once you exhale completely, let's shift the eye gaze forward, bend at the knees, and walk the feet through to the hands at the top of our mat. Forward fold. We're gonna go ahead, toe heel our feet so they're wider than hip distance apart. I'm gonna turn just so you can see. And go ahead, grab opposite hand to opposite elbow, coming into our ragdoll pose. So just going ahead, rotating, bending at the knees, swaying side to side. Letting that head hang heavy. And really just feeling the balls of our feet pressing into the mat. So our breath is our foundation of the practice. And it's really the center focus for our mind here. But the foundation for our body is whatever parts of our body are touching the mat. So our feet are our foundation here, and they're just as important as our breath. Just hold here for 2 more breaths at your own pace. And then once you finish, go ahead, release the hands toward the mat. Let's toe heel the feet so they're hip distance apart, forward fold. On our inhale, we slowly roll up 1 vertebrae at a time, bending at the knees, head is last to lift, reaching the arms toward the ceiling on the way up, and exhale, lower hands to heart center. So just facing the front of your mat, just offering this time again, a brief moment to acknowledge our presence, our intention, becoming familiar with the space that we're practicing in, sinking the feet into the mat, feeling grounded. Go ahead, inhale, reach the arms toward the ceiling. Exhale, fold to the front of the mat, forward fold. On our inhale, our palms shift toward our knees, back comes nice and flat, halfway lift. Exhale, reaching towards the mat, forward fold. Press the hands into the mat, step back into plank. We'll hold here for just a few seconds. Nice flat back, straight line from our head to our tailbone. Go ahead, exhale as you slowly lower, resisting gravity, all the way to the mat. Releasing the toes. On our inhale, let's curl the chest. Eye gaze stays pointed toward the floor, cobra. Nice loose fingertips. And then exhale, release. Head to the mat. Let's go one more time. Inhale as you curl the chest off the mat, baby cobra. And then exhale, release, curl the toes under, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. So here we are again. And let's set again that foundation from our pose. So really want you to feel your fingertips grounding into the mat. Feel the toes doing the same, creating that, again, that base, that foundation. And now you're here, can you breathe? Can you send your breath to the corner edges of your pinky toes, to the corner edges of your thumbs? And can you get that chest a little closer to the knees, making this capital A shape with our body? Holding here for one more breath at your own pace. Exhale, release completely. Again, eye gaze shifts forward, bending the knees, step or hop, feet to the front of the mat, forward fold. Inhale as you lengthen halfway, flat back. Exhale, reach for the mat. Inhale, reverse swan dive up to standing position, reaching for the ceiling, open arms, watch those fingertips touch. And exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, monkey, flat back. Exhale, fold. Hands find the mat, step or float back into plank. We exhale as we resist gravity, chaturanga, all the way to the floor or to a hover. And then inhale, curl the toes, lift the chest up, cobra or up dog. Toes curl back under, lift the hips up toward the ceiling, downward dog. For my yogis familiar with this practice, we're going through our Sun A salutations. So the whole point of these salutations is waking up the body. We're gonna go through a few more together. So again, let's shift that eye gaze forward, bending the knee, step or float, feet to the front of the mat. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale, reach for the earth. Inhale, reverse swan dive, reaching the arms toward the ceiling, filling them up with that intention. Exhale, fold back to the mat, forward fold. Inhale, find that monkey. Eye gaze and heart shift forward. Exhale, reach for the mat, forward fold. Hands find the mat, step or float back into plank. Exhale, lower to chaturanga, a little hover, curl the toes under, lift the chest, up dog or cobra. Again, toes back under, lift the hips, downward dog. And then we're here, we breathe. We breathe. And we notice and we observe how we're feeling. One more breath at your own pace right here. Eye gaze shifts forward, bend the knees, step or float, feet to the front of the mat. Inhale as you flatten the back. Exhale, reach towards your mat. Inhale as you slowly come back to standing, reach the arms up. And exhale, release. Go ahead, I invite you to take these Sun A salutations at your own breath pace. And focus on implementing that intention into the movement. So if your focus is control, maybe you're taking these a little slower, pausing during that chaturanga, pausing during that downward dog. Whatever it is, just move to the pace of your own breath. Got a few more here at your own breath pace. Going through the movements, synchronizing to your breath. Wherever you're at, in these Sun A salutations, let's go ahead, take one more cycle through at your own pace. And then we're gonna go ahead and meet in either a downward dog or a child's pose. So no rush to finish, but no time to waste here on our mats. So again, just going ahead and finishing up that last salutation at your own breath pace. And then wherever you are, let's make your way to a downward dog. And all together, let's walk our feet through to our hands. Forward fold. Go ahead. Inhale as you come back to mountain, reaching the arms toward the ceiling. And exhale, fold to the mat. On your next inhale, let's shift the glutes down, lift the chest up, coming into our chair pose. So weight is in our heels, our chest is nice and lifted, fingertips are reaching forward. Holding here for one more breath. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale as you lengthen halfway, eye gaze forward. Exhale, reach for the mat. Go ahead, vinyasa your way, high to low, going from that chaturanga to our cobra, our up dog, and then we're back in our downward dog. Once we're here, let's go ahead, take our right foot to our right thumb, stepping it through, back foot plants on a 30 to 45 degree angle, lift that upper body, warrior one. So bending that front knee, chest is nice and open. Press that back edge of the foot into the mat. Then exhale back to the mat, and let's flow through that vinyasa. So option to lift that back foot, lower on the exhale. Inhale, chest rises. Exhale, press back, downward dog. Same thing. Other side, let's lift our left foot, step it through toward our left thumb. Back foot plants, come on up, warrior one. Inhale, just breathe. And then release the hands toward the mat, step that left foot back, either keeping it lifted or to the mat, lower chaturanga. Inhale, chest up. Exhale, press it back. Hold that breath right here. So these are our sun B salutations. We'll do one more cycle together. So when you're ready, eye gaze just forward. Step, float, or hop. Feet to the front of the mat. Inhale, heart shines forward. Exhale, release to the mat. Inhale, reach for the ceiling, the sky, whatever it is, and then fold forward. Exhale. On your next inhale, come into that chair, bending at the knees. Make sure you can peek down and see those toes. Chest lifts, glutes sink low, and then exhale, fold. Inhale as you lengthen halfway, flat back. Exhale, hands find the mat, forward fold. Stepping or floating back. Let's go through that vinyasa at your own pace, or you can go right to downward dog. You never have to take vinyasas. It's up to you. It's that option to build heat. Whatever you need today, again. Right here, let's go. Right foot steps forward, right thumb. Come on up, warrior one. Align. Breathe and release. Exhale, vinyasa your way. Meet me back in downward dog. Opposite foot, left side, let's do it. Left foot forward, right leg back, reaching up. Warrior one. Exhale, release, hands to the mat. Vinyasa, and we'll meet back in our downward dog. Beautiful job. Stay here and breathe. Hold here for 2 more breaths. If you need child's pose right now, feel free. Take what you need. And we'll go into a little flow. All right, we'll go through that flow. So on your next breath, you're to go ahead, extend your right foot toward the ceiling, coming into our 3-legged dog. Option to pause here for a little bit. Bend that knee if you'd like to open up the hip. But just feeling that balance on the 3 limbs. Again, pressing the fingertips, the pads of our fingers into the mat. And then let's go ahead, breathe in. As you breathe out, we shift forward into a plank. Knee comes under our core. And then again, inhale, release that foot toward the ceiling, 3-legged dog. Go ahead, inhale, shift forward. Exhale, press back. One more time, bend that knee as you breathe in. And then plant that foot. through between the hands, keeping that back foot lifted. Let's go ahead, raise the upper body coming into our crescent lunge. So weight is in the ball of our front foot and heel of our back foot. Chest is lifted, 2 90-degree angles with our knees. Make sure that back knee is really close to the floor, just to hover lifted. And breathe. Let's go ahead, inhale as we tilt the chest forward, hands come to the side. And exhale, reach toward the ceiling, crescent. Again, inhale, come forward, legs stand still. Exhale, lift the chest. One more right here, just like that. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, release, crescent lunge. Beautiful job. Holding here for one more breath. And then exhale, let's open up to our warrior two to the side. So back foot drops parallel to the back of the mat. Relatively straight back leg. Bend in our front knee. Eye gaze right over those fingertips. I want your eye gaze to be clear, but also softened. Chest is open. Go ahead, flip the front palm over. Inhale, tilt it back, reverse or peaceful warrior. Back hand slides gently down the knee. And then go ahead, exhale, find our way back, warrior two. Let's go ahead, straighten that front leg. Take a deep breath in as you reach for the front of whatever you're facing towards your mat. And exhale, lower that hand toward the mat or toward your ankle, coming into our triangle pose. So feeling the expansion in this pose of the chest. And I want you to feel in this pose whatever sensation you're going for. So if you're really wanting to feel grounded, again, send that breath to the feet. If you want to feel opening, on that inhale, lengthen, and exhale, expand a little bit with that eye gaze shifting up towards our top hand. If you have a block here, also perfect time to use. So feel that expansion and breathe. Holding here for 2 more breaths at your own pace. And then on your next breath, we're gonna go ahead, take that front foot, we're gonna step it through toward the left side of our mat. Our back foot can come in a little if we like, taking our revolving triangle. So eye gaze really aiming toward that lifted hand. And you're here, and you're breathing. That's why we do these poses over and over again. It's not to feel the same thing every time, it should feel different every time. Trying to feel for that sensation, for that different feeling no matter when we come back to a pose. So what can be different? Can you reach even further? One more breath right here. Exhale, release both hands to the mat. Front foot comes between the hands, coming into our low lunge. So option to place that back knee on the mat, keeping either the hands on the mat if you like to raise them up like this as well, whatever option best suits your needs. Let's take our left hand to the mat, right arm reaches toward the ceiling, finding that twist. Again, create here exactly what you like to feel. So you really like to feel that twist. Keep that eye gaze lifted, use the exhale to even twist a little more. One more breath right here. And exhale, release back to the mat. Let's step that foot back, coming into a downward dog. Beautiful job. Let's go through a sun A salutation at your own breath pace to just clear out that flow together. So eye gaze just forward, step or float, feet to the front of the mat. Inhale, flat back, monkey. Exhale, reach for the earth. Inhale, reverse swan dive back up toward our mountain. We're reaching our arms. And then we exhale, reach for the earth. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, vinyasa your way, or meet me right back in our downward dog. High to low, chaturanga. Cobra up dog. Exhale brings you back to downward dog. Beautiful job. Same thing is coming on the other side here. So I'm gonna just face the other way so it makes it a little easier to see. But we're gonna take our left foot, reach it toward the ceiling, coming into our 3-legged dog. So either stay here if you'd like to bend at the knee, open the hip a little bit, feel free. And finding the balance, the stability, the basis on our mat with our three limbs connected. Again, that foundation. And then when you're ready, straighten out that leg to three-legged dog again. On our inhale, we bend that knee forward, shifting through to plank, and then exhale, press back. Three-legged dog again. Eye gaze shifts forward, coming into that plank. Press back on the exhale. One more time. Coming forward, knee to a core, pausing here, and then planting that foot down, coming up with the upper body, our crescent lunge. So again, you've seen this pose before, but what are you willing to create in it? So nice flat upper body, still pulling that belly button to our spine, a nice strong core. On our inhale, let's drop the hands toward our side, shift the chest forward, and exhale, come back up. Again, inhale, come forward, legs stay nice and still. Exhale, press back up. One more time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Back foot drops, opening up to our warrior two on this side. Let's try to get that heel of that front foot in line with the arch of the back foot. And it's straight and parallel to the back of our mat. Inhale if you want to raise it inch higher. Exhale, sink even deeper. Nice strong bend in that front knee. On our inhale, our front palm flips over. Let's tilt the upper body back. Peaceful reverse warrior. And then exhale, come back forward. Warrior two. Let's go ahead, straighten that front leg. On our inhale, let's reach toward the front of our mat, finding that length. And exhale as we rotate forward, coming into the triangle pose on this side. So shift that eye gaze toward our hand that's lifted and feel that opening. So don't let reaching necessarily lower prohibit you from opening. So if you feel more chest opening with your hand a little higher up on your lower leg, go for that option. It's all about the opening and expansion. Feel yourself being nice and big and expanded in this pose, creating that space on our mat, reaching. Again, inhale is our lengthening, exhale is that twist. And then when you're ready, bending the knee as needed to release the front hand toward the mat, we're going to step the front foot through to the opposite side, finding a revolved triangle. So now you're here, and all you need to do is breathe and create what you hope to feel and sense. So reach the opposite arm back. You can do this. We're in it together. One more breath right here. And exhale, both hands rotate toward the mat. Let's step that front foot through our low lunge. So again, either both hands on the mat, or can lift them up overhead. Option for back knee up or on the mat, whatever best suits you. And breathe. One breath right here. And then exhale, right hand to the mat, left fingertips reach, bending or twist on this side. Just back to my other way of facing. Eye gaze tilts up. And then when you're ready, release hands to the mat, press back, downward dog, and let's go through a vinyasa together to clear that. So if you'd like to shift forward, exhale. As you lower chaturanga, inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lift the hips. And breathe. Beautiful, beautiful job. When you're ready, eye gaze shifts forward, bending the knees, coming to the front of our mat, forward fold. Inhale as we lengthen halfway. Exhale, release to the mat. Inhale, slowly roll up to a standing position, watching those fingertips connect. And exhale, let's lower them to heart center. So just breathing here for a second. We're gonna go into some balance. So When you're ready, you're gonna shift your weight into your left foot and finding our tree on our right side. So bringing the foot either above or below the knee, hands come to center, drishti or that eye gaze on a point of focus that's not moving. Pick that point of focus, find the balance. Again, that base of our foot is our foundation. Press right into the ball of the foot. Stay where you are, or if you'd like, grow your branches of your tree, reaching up toward the ceiling. More challenging it becomes if you can tilt your eye gaze up towards the ceiling or your hands. Hold for one more breath right here. And slowly, so it's not a release or an escape from the pose, bring your hands back to heart center. Slowly again, release your right foot and go ahead and grab the inside of your right foot with your right hand. So we're, lovely. Find that balance again on the left foot. It's working hard too. And then let's reach the left arm forward, bringing that foot lifted towards the ceiling, finding our dancer pose on the right side. So really reach and lengthen towards the ceiling. Feeling a nice quad stretch here. And just balance. Again, a point of focus. Breathe into your planted foot. We can do it. If you come out of the pose, just go right back in. Keep trying. One more breath right here. Exhale, slowly release to the mat. Oh, shake it out. Beautiful job. Take a little flush out of that pose by inhaling, you're reaching toward the ceiling. Exhale, reach for the mat before we go in. On our other side, let's find a gorilla pose here. So go ahead, shovel your palms of your hands under your feet, just like a different variation of our forward fold. So you can bring your chest toward your knees. You can play around with bending and extending the legs to feel that sensation down the back of the legs. Great job. Balance is always one. It's kind of a day-to-day thing. We have to work on it. One more breath right here. And then release the hands back to the mat, forward fold. And then let's slowly inhale, coming back to standing, reaching those fingertips. Exhale, hands to the mat. Hands to heart center, my bad. And let's go ahead and go into our balance on the other side. So placing our weight in our right foot, let's find our tree on our left side. So bringing the foot either to the shin or up to the quads. Start by our base, our foundation. Bring our hands to heart center. Pick that point of focus with the eye gaze, again, clear but soft. And then if you'd like to grow your branches, go ahead and reach. Another little balance challenge, closing the eyes for a second. Whatever that is. Whoop. You got it. Still and stable, feel your strength. Let's go for one more breath at your own pace. And then slowly lower those hands to heart center. Again, we don't want to escape the pose, but rather slowly release that left foot into the left hand, grabbing on the inside of it. We go into our dancer pose on this side, so reaching the right arm forward, and then rotating forward with the chest as we lift the back foot toward the ceiling in our hands. Woo. And again, wherever you are, breathe and create what you'd like to feel. One more breath right here. Woo. And then slowly exhale, release to the mat, forward fold. Beautiful job. Inhale as we lengthen halfway. And on this next exhale, let's sink the glutes low, coming into our garland pose. So bringing our hands to prayer hands, keeping that chest lifted, and play around with how you'd like to feel the opening of our inner thighs. Weight in our heels, keeping that chest nice and lifted. If you have a blocking light to put it underneath, that's an option available to you. Holding here for one more breath. And then let's exhale, hands come to the mat. Let's walk the feet to our downward dog. Let's reach our right foot toward the ceiling and then shift our weight forward, bringing that shin to the front of our mat, coming into our pigeon pose. So opposite leg reaches for the back of the mat. Start by staying lifted with the chest and body, this hip opener stretch. And once you create that length, if you'd like to bring the forearms to the floor or your forehead to your hands or the mat as well, play around with what feels best for the opening of the hips. Slow the breath down and breathe. So in this pose, I want you to feel content, but I also want you to feel the slightest bit of dissatisfaction. And that means just earning and yearning to get it a little better each time we come to it. Again, it shouldn't be the same every time. So you're growing every time. We're strengthening ourselves. So can you find that little bit of dissatisfaction by maybe bringing that front shin a little more parallel to the front of the mat, again, within our ranges of motion, so it feels a little comfortable too, but content with the slightest bit of dissatisfaction. One more breath right here. And then on that exhale, let's slowly bring the hands back to the mat, lift that upper body, back toes curl under, come back, downward dog. Same thing other side, so when you're ready, reach the left toes toward the ceiling, shift the knee forward, planting it through toward the front of our mat, coming into our pigeon on this side, I'll face this way. So find the length with the upper body for a breath, and when you're ready, go ahead, come onto the mat. If you'd like, head resting on the mat, or bending the forearms, whatever is needed, you can stay lifted too. And just breathe right here. So we carry a lot of tension in our hips from sitting during the day, so hopefully this feels nice and refreshing to you. Again, yearn for improvement each time we come to a pose. One more breath right here. And then slowly, again, hands come to the mat. Lift the chest up. Coming back to that downward dog, so curl the back toes under, lift the hips up. Downward dog. Better to go ahead, bend the knees, walk the feet forward, and then crossing the legs coming onto our glutes. Then we're going to lower the upper body down to the mat. So we are going to find our bridge pose. So we're going to go ahead, first of all, make sure your fingertips are close to your heels so you could touch them. On our deep breath in, we're going to push the hips toward the ceiling, coming onto the shoulders, finding our bridge. So option is to grasp the hands under our glutes, again, coming onto the shoulders. If you'd like to lift the hands up overhead, that's an option available to you as well. Winding down in our practice. We built all that heat with our flows and vinyasas. Now focusing on that strength right here. Hold for one more breath. Then if your hands aren't reaching toward the ceiling on your exhale, lower the hips, reach the arms straight back. And let's go for that again. So taking a bridge, if you'd like to go into full wheel for another option, if that's in your practice, go for that. And then on the inhale, lift the hips up, whether that's wheel or a bridge. Focus on the breath, keep the hips lifted. You got this. So one last breath at your own pace. Slowly exhale, back to the mat, beautiful job. Go ahead, bring your knees in, give yourself a nice tight squeeze. And we're gonna go into a little shoulder stand. So first option is just lifting those legs straight up toward the ceiling, keeping the hands on the mat, just letting that blood flow away from the feet, if you'd like, in this little waterfall. Another option right there is having that block rested under the glutes. So that's our first option. Our next option is lifting into our shoulder stand. So resting our hands on our low back, lifting the legs toward the ceiling. So again, whatever option of this inversion you're choosing, just let the legs hang heavy. Differentiation just to the shoulders or our upper body. Either staying here, or if plows in your practice, go ahead. Tilt the legs back toward the head. Slowly but surely. And then slowly making your way back onto your mat. With your knees in, center core, give yourself a nice tight squeeze. And we're gonna finish before Shavasana with a little bit of core. So let's go ahead and lift those legs toward the ceiling, making a diamond shape with our fingertips, placing it right in between our sacrum, so where our low back meets our glutes. We're gonna lower our heels a third of the way and hold in 3, 2, 1, lower and hold. My most favorite way to end any practice, a little core, especially with those movements. For anyone that's gone to my class at schools, this is my favorite way of ending. So immediately you should feel that low core engaged, right? With the heels a little lower. Let's go another third of the way and hold in 3, 2, 1, lower and hold. So it's become difficult to talk, right? So really using the strength of your core, your whole body really, keeping these heels lifted, right? There's one more third of the way to go. When we go there together, we're gonna go into a hollow hold, curl the head, neck, and shoulders off the mat into little pulses. I'm gonna shift back so you can see it better. In 3, 2, 1, hollow hold, shoulders come up, pulse it out. 1 inch up, 1 inch down with our feet. Exhale as you lower each time. This is it. Using our strength of our entire body to move 1 inch. You're in it together. Keep that heat that you've built through this entire practice going through this one last minute. You keep going when it gets challenging. Decompartmentalization. On and off the mat, right? Same you bring here. Same you bring to all your other aspects of your life, just for 8. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale. Give yourself a nice tight squeeze in. And then slowly release the legs long, hands to the side, finding our Shavasana, our corpse pose, a final resting. Returning to that natural breath and way of breathing. Feeling our body sinking into the mat. Just releasing any tension. Letting our thoughts escape as they pass through the mind. Shifting inward. Soaking in your practice today and all you accomplished. Staying here for a few more breaths. And when you're ready, go ahead and bend the knees in toward our center core. Give yourself that nice tight squeeze when you get there, keeping the eyes closed and slowly getting here. You like just gently rock back and forth, massaging out that low back. And then we're gonna make our way to a seated position. So if you'd like to roll onto one side and press up, or if you'd like to add some momentum to this position, coming into that seated position on the front of our mat. When we get there, we're sitting nice and tall, lengthening the spine, and bringing those hands right to our knees. Just again, taking in this time we shared together today, taking in your practice, how you felt on the mat, how your mind and your breath felt throughout. Let's take a deep breath in and reach the hands toward the ceiling, watching those fingertips connect again at the top, and softening the eyes, lowering the hands between our two eyes, our third eye. Again, thank you so much for sharing this practice together today. The light, the truth, and the beauty in me honors and sees the light and the truth and beauty in each of you. Bow forward as we say, Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today for yoga. Again, my name is Gabrielle from Penn State Campus Recreation Fitness and Wellness, and I really appreciate you making the time on your mat for yourself today, for your body, for your mind. Please follow Penn State Campus Recreation, Penn State CREC on Instagram or social media. Tell your friends and family to as well if they like. And there'll be more workouts and stuff coming along the way from us. So thank you again so much for working out with me. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Namaste.